Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what are you going to be discussing on this week's podcast?
Ryan, on this week's episode, we are going to ride the roller coaster of human behavior as we explore the ups and downs of this world that we live on. And I insult a dead guy, but only slightly.
Okay, I can deal with that.
What about you, Ryan?
Tyler, this week, I tell the story of a woman who disappears at 18 years old, and when she reappears at the age of 42, you will not believe her story. And self-love. Does it exist? I'm not too sure. We get into that on this week's episode.
One of the few absolutes that I am a firm believer in is that any extreme is a bad thing. It doesn't matter what it is.
Every time.
Every single time, an extreme is bad. Whether it be water or air or food, you're going to kill yourself.
You could overdose on oxygen.
Exactly. Is there too much inclusion in the gay community?
Too much inclusion in the gay community. So you're saying just acceptance.
Just acceptance.
Again, I don't know about the gay community. I'm not gay, Tyler.
You know quite a bit more than you're loading on. I just think that there is a little bit too much inclusion. Have you seen the updated pride flag?
No. Okay.
It's got every color known to man.
Okay.
And so it's got, like the American flag, it's got the horizontal lines, but then much like the Cuban and Puerto Rican flag, it's got that half triangle on the left side.
And if I'm remembering correctly, again, not gay, the triangle is like brown and yellow. It's like earth tones or something.
That is exactly what I'm talking about. The flag is meant to represent sexuality, but in there, it has a brown and black line for the triangle or diamond, however you're looking at it.
I thought that meant you stand with the cops. Is that a different flag?
That's a different flag.
Okay.
That one's the blues.
We should mix those two. I feel like it would save a lot of problems.
I'm sure it would go well. But that is saying that we include people of color.
Yeah.
But why are we including that? That's like a business having a sign outside that says, now we definitely serve Jews. And it's like, okay, it's great that you do.
Good.
It's great that you do, but why did you feel the need to specify?
So that... And I think somewhere in the recesses of my mind, I already knew this. So that flag, which is celebrating diverse sexual preferences, is also celebrating black and brown people.
It's celebrating skin color, that's a different topic.
Okay.
Sexuality
Get your own flag.
Is meant for everybody.
I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you look like. So why are we specifying what people look like?
Except for the asexual. Where did they stand on that flag?
Oh, they're in there, the LGBT. I don't know what the color is, but they've added the A right before the plus. It's hard to keep up with all the letters.
It is a lot. So, okay.
LGBTQIA plus.
Now, my question to you, and I think that this is just the normal next step in the conversation that we're having, whom do we kick out? Who does Tyler chop off?
Oh, it's got to be the brown people. Because the black people they've been held down for so long. They've been held down for so long. Brown people can get away with just a little bit more than black people can, so they got to go.
I wasn't ready for that, and you're right. In the hierarchy of society, we do give brown people a little bit longer of a leash, and we shouldn't. You're right.
I don't see how that could come back to bite me in any way.
We're starting off in a tenuous place. Okay, now, seriously, for all the people who want to be acknowledged, for all the people who want to be observed and heralded, where is the line in the sand where you say, hey, listen, we got to get a new flag here?
Yeah, I don't think, and in all seriousness, but
Tyler loves black people and brown people.
And brown people.
Especially.
No, but giving a serious answer, I am genuinely confused why we're incorporating skin color into a pride flag. As I said earlier, as part of the joke, it was a joke.
Obviously, satire, baby.
We are including skin color in what is sexual orientation.
Yeah.
So it is strange to me that we're specifying the way somebody looks when in the beginning it had it doesn't matter what you look like. This is about what your sexuality is.
But don't you think that is just the people who are dealing with all of this stuff? They're the people who are creating all of this, just using it as runoff. Be like, okay, you guys, get over there. You guys over there. You guys over there, instead of, bringing up multiple places to celebrate multiple things.
That's what I'm saying. Once you start specifying, then it's going to get to a point where you're leaving out all these little individual groups instead of just saying, hey, we're a group for gay people, or a group for anybody who isn't straight. Although straight people, you're invited
Plant
too.
fuckers, get in here.
Come party with us. Except you, Weinstein. You're not allowed. You belong in jail.
You're a monster.
But now we're saying all these different little individual groups are coming in. It's getting to a point where it's like, well, what about this group? And what about this group? And then it stops being specific to one thing and it starts being open to everything.
That's how you got the Disney Plus.
And we're kind of missing the message here, I think.
So what's the answer?
I just go back to it being all about your sexuality.
Okay, and again, Tyler and I very much love black and brown people.
Very much so.
I want that to be connected.
Very much so. But if a sacrifice has to be made, it's you brown people.
Okay.
And welcome to Those Guys You Hate, Ryan.
We should probably wrap this up soon.
My brother, how are you?
I'm feeling a bit tenuous, but willing to continue. We'll see where this ends up.
I hope our audience understands satire. If not, we've just been canceled.
Yeah.
We are here for episode 225. 225. Welcome. Let's just jump right into Depression Index.
No one cares.
What the Depression Index is a machine that we built with our bare hands.
Rawr.
And you say you're not gay. And we crank it up to let you know how down we are.
I wouldn't be a bear.
Ryan, no, you wouldn't be. No. You're more of an otter. You're sleek, you're thin.
Thank you.
But you also have a lot of hair.
Do I have a lot of hair?
Well, enough to be an otter. You're not a twink because you're not hairless.
No, but again, I think that you could be on the top and still being the one fucked. I digress.
Jesus. Wasn't that in pregame?
That was in pregame. Oh, is there no context?
30 seconds after the show ends,
Okay.
Pregame, postgame starts, and you'll get some context if you want it.
I could understand you shutting this off after everything that's happened here, but I'm just saying you could sit on it. All right, Tyler.
How are you doing this week, my gay, very homosexual brother?
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gay. I'm doing okay. I have had somewhat of a rough week this week. You and I have had a private conversation where we have both discussed that this week for me, and this is, I don't know why, this is kind of, I feel awkward bringing this up in front of all of our close friends, but I have had a very, a rough week when it comes to my confidence, when it comes to my self-esteem. Why does that fluctuate so much, Tyler?
I would say it depends primarily on the challenges in our lives. And sometimes when we're doing things that I don't want to say that we don't care about, but that we're not emotionally invested in, then
i.e. all of my life.
It doesn't hit on those triggers. But then when we come up against something where we're making ourselves vulnerable, then that could really mess with it.
And you want to be good at it.
Of course. Even perfectionism, especially for us, can really come into play where you just want to get it exactly right instead of just doing your best.
And there is no exactly right. That does not exist. There will never be a time in my life from what I've experienced so far where I am 100% happy with anything that I do. So now here is my actual theme. Here is my question for you today. I have recognized this week that I struggle with the practice of self-love. That is something at the core of that I'm recognizing as I go further and further in. The way that I talk to myself, the expectations that I put on myself can sometimes be downright cruel. Mm-hmm. And what I've come to realize is that it is something that I just never learned. I'm interested in your thoughts on that. I never learned, again, before I even finish this sentence, I'm soon to be a 42-year-old man who is an adult, who is in charge at this point of parenting myself. I do not mean this as an assessment of somebody else failing me. I just mean this as an observation on who I am. Mm-hmm. I never learned to love myself in a way that is helpful to me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But you have learned. Now you do know the facts, the logic behind loving yourself. If I was to give you a piece of paper and a pencil and say, hey, write down 3 steps of how you could love yourself more, you could come up with 3 things.
That's very well said.
The point is remembering to do those things.
I haven't built the habit of loving myself yet.
That's it.
And what I've recognized, even as I sit here right now, and as I always do, I bear myself on this platform for you, Tyler, for myself. It's something that I'm embarrassed about. I feel shame that I don't love myself in the way that I believe that I should, that Gatorade commercials tell me that I'm supposed to, that Disney movies told me that I was supposed to. I have shame that surrounds my practices when it comes to self-love. And my question to you is, should I? Is this a stigma that I should feel, or is this just some sort of a learning process that just needs to be deepened?
Absolutely not. To answer your should I.
Too bad.
It is. Oh, well, checkmate.
Yep.
Not only is it, should you not feel, that's the thing. Let me rephrase. It is a cyclical nature that is so, I don't want to say evil because it's just human nature and the chemicals in our brain.
I'll say it. It's evil.
But it's fucked up.
God really set us up to fail, Tyler. So what's your deal, bro?
Man, that's an interview we need to have.
What's your deal?
Because we have shame about not feeling that self-love, and then that shame keeps us from feeling that self-love, and then we go back to having shame about the shame.
So what is the answer there?
Just parenting yourself. Always remember that when we talk to ourselves in these moments, pretend you are talking to a child. How would you talk to a child?
Woozy woozy boo doo boo.
You probably shouldn't do that.
That's not helpful. I've tried that, and people are like, "Sir, you got to get off this bus."
You just turned into Ace Ventura talking to an animal.
Woozy boozy.
It is simply, instead of falling face first into that emotion and giving yourself over to it, it's like, oh God, now I feel bad because I felt the shame. It's pulling yourself out of it, detaching yourself from it, and going, no, it's okay that we feel this way. I love me anyway.
Okay, that's great information, and this is something that I'm really working through. I won't bring up yoga. I am a yoga teacher.
You son of a bitch.
But I really do believe that there is something, and I bring this up on every episode, I am opening up these places in my body that have been locked up for such a long time, and they are releasing these feelings that I've been protecting myself from forever, and man, do I wish I could go back.
Yeah.
Can I go back?
No.
That's the final question.
No,
Can I go back?
You cannot.
Narcissism, take me back.
You cannot get plugged back into the Matrix. You already killed that guy on the ship. Trinity almost died. Everybody's pissed off at you.
But I want to have that thick steak and that woman in the red dress.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get that going
Yeah.
again? Joe Pantaleone.
I'm sorry, what?
That's the character that did Keanu dirty.
No, and that's the thing, is that the more you release, the happier you are. Unfortunately, the more you release, the deeper in there you get, and the deeper in there you get, the heavier and heavier the problems are.
The kook alert here, all of that stuff, as they say in The Untethered Soul, all of that stuff was stored with pain, so it will be released with pain. If you're a kook and you believe that bullshit, this week
Before you do, I just, one time.
Give it to me, baby.
Kook alert! Kook alert!
I made sure to make it extra
That
loud.
is so loud, Tyler.
Sorry.
Just scrambled my eggs. This week, I am hurting, man.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
But you know what?
I didn't know it was so bad.
It's not so bad. I'm just feeling these feelings at a level that I have not felt them in a long time. And it's been very painful. And I assume that it's a positive thing. I assume that it's a good thing. I assume that I'm letting go of a lot of this stuff. And it is just frying off my eyebrows.
Yeah.
This week, I am at a 6, motherfucker.
Yeah. Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh. You know, now I've arrived in this place where you're not usually that high and I want to make fun of you, but you're not usually this high and I don't want to make fun of you.
I say err on the side of caution and just get in there, because who knows when this is going to happen next.
I'm going to fucking win this week.
Yeah.
Now ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt more than I thought it was going to. Tyler, how you doing this week, brother?
There you go.
Straighten it up for me.
Straighten it up. I'm doing okay. I'm kind of in the same dilemma as you, where I'm going.
Get your own thing, Tyler.
No. In pregame, you said you're taking the gay thing from me. I'm taking the trauma from you.
I'm
Wait, this sounds like a lose-lose situation.
I'm a dainty top.
Yeah. No, I'm going through it as well, and I think I've, believe it or not, come upon not the solution, but the answer as to why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. It's always really nice when you're going through a hard time and you figure out what is it that's pressing that button exactly. I'm going through my third
trimester
stand-up class, and there's a lot of vulnerability. You have to get up in front of people, and at the end of the class, we have that big show.
By nature, I think with stand-up comedy, it is pure vulnerability.
Any art that you show to others, absolutely.
That one more than most, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a painter, you could just hang it on a wall and step back. With stand-up, you got to be in front of everybody. But nevertheless, I'm doing this, and I've realized that it's become a conversation, or more like a battle, between my conscious and my subconscious. And my subconscious always fucking wins. Because
In terms of what?
Because when I sign up, stand-up comedy is something that I love to do. It is something that calls to me. And whenever this class becomes available, I sign up to it automatically. I don't even think about it. Every time I've taken this class, I get this way. Every single time.
Oh, I know.
And I don't even think about me.
When you say this way, you mean
like down in the dumps.
Sure.
Hurt, like scared all the time.
Yeah, this is what I'm going through right now, I think, with yoga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have to put yourself out there. You too. You have to be at the front of the stage guiding everybody.
You came to my yoga class last week, and I was in a full-blown panic attack leading yoga.
I told you, I was like, I didn't even notice. Like, that's so crazy to me.
Yeah. But I'm good at shutting it down.
Sure. But now now I've realized that what happens is I sign up to the class because that's something that I really deeply want to do. But then when I start writing my material, I don't even notice it at the moment until it's too late. I'm writing stuff that I don't want to be saying in front of people. But then by the time I've already performed it in the first class, it's locked in.
Yeah.
I've already said the things.
Yeah.
And now I always invite my family and friends.
Yeah.
So the last class, it was about how I'm bisexual.
What?
And you were there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, all right, I'm going to say this in front of mom and dad, these things that we've made jokes in front of them countless times, but I've never had a full-blown conversation with them about it. So it was scary. This class that I'm going through, my entire 5 minutes is about, in my 20s, my drug use.
What?
And it's an entire story.
And you were there.
It's an entire story of like embarrassing stories of like back in my 20s and the things that I used to do. And I realized at the very least, mom is going to be there. I got one joke in there about cocaine, and now I'm scared,
Yeah, but I think that when you go, and even though this can be, I would imagine, mildly uncomfortable for mom and dad, I think that this is just like a safe space, and it's not like they don't know that stuff to some degree. I do understand your trepidation, though.
I know, and that's the thing. It all boils down to my abandonment issues, where I've gotten a lot better with them, but still to this day, I can be going through things like this, and that voice it doesn't even say it anymore. It's just this feeling of, if you do this, they're going to stop loving you. And I have to logically go in and be like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And it barely works. That feeling so powerful of just like, they're going to stop talking to you. Like my own mother, like, what the fuck are you talking about, voice?
She's been looking for a way out for a while, so I would be very careful. I will tell you, and now we're just, what you're describing about putting all that information together and then going on stage and you're like, why did I say that out loud? I feel that way so often about this show, where I say shit and then later on I'm like, I don't think I should have said that.
Yeah, editing Ryan has a real problem with recording Ryan.
And heads up, editing Ryan, I'm about to do it again right now. And this is something that has been part of my life, what you just described. From the abandonment issues, from whatever, fucked up situation we came from, there's still part of me that worries about every sentence that I speak. Is this going to run X person off?
Yeah.
Just because that little kid in me is so fucked up.
Yeah.
So if you could fix that as well, I would very much appreciate it.
I'm working on myself, bro. That's
Start
on you,
with me.
buddy. No.
Start with me and then work your way up.
No, I was going to make a work my way down joke, but so that is to say that I am going to go through with it. And I have to acknowledge, just dismounting off the segment, I have to acknowledge that doing this is really healthy for me, because once I finally get up there and I say all the things, I'm free of it. That's it. It's another thing that I'm free of. So
I got another fucking yoga class next Sunday. I gotta do this shit all over again.
Yeah. You're in trouble.
It's not even real.
Yeah, it's become your job now, so you have to go.
It's like porn. It just ruined it.
Yoga's like porn. Okay,
Once you get paid to do it, it's just not as fun.
Sure. So this week, just so I can beat Ryan, I am at a 5.
Spin that wheel, you
1, 2,
fucking
3,
dick
4,
smoker.
5. Damn.
For you, Tyler.
Damn, that feels good.
Yeah, you look really happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it makes me happy that you're happy.
Well, let's go to break so I can rub it in your face. Hey, everyone. If you're anything like us, you struggle with depression, anxiety, isolation, or any number of things that hold you back in life.
Or do you procrastinate a little too much? Maybe you've had trouble with self-control or even just going through a tough time. Regardless of whatever it is you're going through, therapy can help.
For me, Ryan, it's completely changed the way I deal with my problems. Even the relationship with my own thoughts have improved dramatically.
And that's why we're excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is so important to us because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you up to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. Go to betterhelp.com/thoseguys or click on the link in the show's description. Clicking on that link not only supports us, but supports you.
And we want to support you too by giving you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp to connect with a therapist and see if it helps you.
Finding the right therapist is so important, someone that you really connect with, and BetterHelp has made that easier than ever. Switching therapists until you find the right one without having to worry about insurance or any additional fees.
You know, Tyler, when I first had my son, I felt so many emotions that I had never experienced in my life. Therapy really helped me figure out what was going on.
Well, that is betterhelp.com/thoseguys. Help the show by supporting the people that help us.
Those guys.
On this piece of paper, the world's hardest tongue twister, Tyler.
Oh, wow.
And I would love for you to give it a shot.
You hate.
And I didn't even do my, hold on, I gotta do my tongue warm-ups.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's enough tongue warm-ups.
Those guys you hate.
And we are back. Ryan, welcome back.
Salud.
I rubbed it all in your stupid face.
Not that bad. Maybe I am gay. Is that the theme of this show? Is Ryan gay?
You've said it so many times, like speak into existence that which you want the most. You're just going to do it to yourself.
I just read The Secret, and I'm just trying to imply it into my life. Is The Secret real?
I've never read it. I have no idea.
Okay.
Ryan, over the course of this episode, I figured we'd take a ride across the spectrum of humanity from the hopeful to the deplorable. Would you like to take this ride with me?
Absolutely, my brother.
Let's go to China.
China.
Would you ever go to China?
Sure.
Yeah?
Oh, I mean, am I going to be safe? Am I going to be...
After all the things we've said on this show towards them, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, if you can guarantee me my safety, I would go anywhere. You know what I mean? If I'm not going to be put in a crazy situation, I would like to see almost anything.
You'd go to the middle of the Amazon rainforest? Forget safe. That would just be deeply uncomfortable.
Oh, I love jungles. I love forests. That's my happy place.
I don't love humidity. Mm-mm.
Oh, no, I don't give a shit about being uncomfortable for a little bit.
All right. Fair enough. Well, Ryan, now that we're in China, we're going to be talking about your favorite subject, besides serial killers, of course.
Love them.
Testicles. Albeit what's in them.
Okay.
I actually wrote this before we started doing the show, and the fact that you've been doing so much gay talk could not have aligned with this any better.
All roads lead to homo.
Yeah, we're actually going to be talking about what's in testicles, which is microplastics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And semen.
Okay.
Microplastic pollution has been detected in all human semen samples tested in a recent study over here in China.
100%.
They tested 40 men, and out of 40, they all had microplastics in their semen.
Has there ever been a scientific study that's been 100% before? I mean, that's like unheard of.
I would assume the lead poisoning as well. I would imagine that affected everybody.
But you understand my point.
No, of
where
course.
like 100% scientific draw is unheard of. If you
Yeah.
have a 60% rate, you have an incredibly potent scientific study.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit scary.
Very scary.
Bit scary. And these were all young men, premarital. They were a young, healthy men who were premarital, and they tested 40, found 40. And not only that, sperm counts in men have been falling across the Western Hemisphere for decades.
Makes sense, man. With all of this industrial, building, it's really affecting not just the environment, but us as well.
For sure. And
Yeah.
it's not just chemical pollution, but also they believe that the way we take care of ourselves or lack thereof.
The way we eat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I bet you there's microplastics in the food we're eating, like constantly.
Yes. I mean, if you're eating fast food, I would imagine there's just straight up plastics in there.
Yeah, but delicious plastics,
Really,
except for
really
the
great.
McDonald's buns. Well, recent mouse studies have shown that microplastics obviously reduce sperm count, cause abnormalities, and disrupt hormones. So they fuck with your entire system. And it's not just our cojones, Ryan. Microplastics are being found in various parts of the human body, including blood, placentas, breast milk, indicating widespread contamination.
Well, I believe that this is just a metaphor. I don't know if that's the correct terminology or not, of what as human beings we are giving up for convenience. Plastic, very convenient, very helpful. If you don't have to make things out of tin or aluminium like that Cockney kid would call it.
I was like, wow, that sounds such like an exotic material.
But the fact of the matter is we are giving up, knowingly or otherwise, our health for Tupperware, for disposable life. And now it's coming back to bite us in the nads.
Well, and I also believe that it's not just convenience, but it's also these materials being put into play before we knew the ramifications of them. Much like going back to the example of leaded gasoline. I don't believe that when they started using it, they knew what it was going to do to the human body.
I agree.
But then it becomes such a force. The way gasoline is, how expensive or how much money there is and was in gasoline, how much money there is in plastic. Plastic is literally ubiquitous. It is in almost everything.
Well, you said they found a plastic bag at the bottom of Mariana's Trench.
And there's a shitload of plastic at the top of Mount Everest. It is across the globe, top to bottom.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Literally top to bottom.
Literally top
Yeah.
to bottom. So I don't even have an answer here. I'm not sure what we're going to do. But as I said, we're going to explore the realms of living on this planet. And that one's bad, Ryan.
That's bad.
That's bad.
And I do believe that, we've given over, and it's not just the convenience. It is, like you said, it is the money-making ability and putting money above human life.
Yeah. And we're going to see that more than ever as we, much like the oil industry, as we acknowledge the damage that is doing to us or the planet or both, and how much we're not going to stop using those things because of all the financial backing that these things
Because
have.
the people who are making the decisions are the ones that are getting kickbacks.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah.
you
Wasn't
go.
that fun?
My balls hurt. Like
Are you sitting on them?
My hypochondria is now I can feel plastics moving around in my balls. So thank you.
Listen, hypochondria is my thing, okay? You get your own thing.
I'm taking that and the homosexuality.
Oh, you just want all the fun things, huh? Ryan, I got a fun fact.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good. So good and tasty.
You know, very often you play those sound clips that really bother me. I like that one.
Do you really?
I do. I don't know. I don't know if that guy's fucking with me or not, but he sounds like he's having a grand old time.
He's having a great
Good for
time.
him.
Yeah,
I'm happy
for sure.
for him. Whatever he's eating, a mayonnaise sandwich or whatever, he's fucking enjoying it.
Ryan, for our fun fact of the week,
Okay.
maple syrup urine disease.
Maple syrup urine disease.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a thing, apparently. I read about this recently. People with MSUD can't break down certain amino acids from proteins because their bodies don't produce the necessary enzymes this causes a buildup of toxins in your body that can damage your brain and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens?
You could die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now-
But why would they name it after something so delicious?
Now,
Putting urine in the name, that's not fair.
Now, are you getting this from maple syrup, or is your urine turning into maple syrup?
No, I think it just becomes thick-ish, I want to say, and it's like maple syrup.
I feel like that would really feel bad coming out of my penis. Do I have that incorrect?
I would imagine so, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like more of a drip than a drizzle.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be more like a seeping almost. And that's your fun fact of the week.
That's good.
And finally, before we go to break, let's do a Happy Death Day.
I love it. Happy Death Day, where somebody's passed away. We celebrate their life as we discuss what they've done, what they haven't done. Happy Death Day.
Wow, that's like the first time you've ever that's like the first time you've ever gone sincere.
I hope that we don't take those stumbles out because they were musical in nature. And yeah, Tyler, I respect you and what you do on this show.
You never support me. Ryan, for this week's Happy Death Day, the logo for the NBA has died.
Oh yeah, Jerry West.
14-time NBA All-Star and kind of a well-known jerk, Jerry West has died.
More like Jerry South, am I right?
Sure. Why not?
Is he a well-known jerk?
He was known to be a bit of a dick.
I think that he was portrayed that way on that show Showtime.
A lot of people had like problems with him from what I read.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like run-ins or whatever. It doesn't matter. This is Happy Death Day, and
Sure.
at the beginning of the show, I said I was only going to insult a dead guy only a little.
Was that it?
That was it right
Okay,
there.
cool.
Only a little.
Sorry to your family, Jerry West.
An NBA champion as a player, a 10-time All-NBA first team, a scoring title, an assist title, an 8-time NBA champion as an executive, and a 2-time NBA Executive of the Year, along with a gold medal in the Olympics. He achieved pretty much everything you can achieve in the sport.
Well, and I'm sure that you said this already, but forgive me if I didn't hear it. He is the silhouette for the NBA's logo, probably his biggest accomplishment, I would say, because he's the only one who's ever done it.
Yeah, that's true.
His nickname was the logo.
When you say, is that true?
Yep.
I guess that makes sense. When you see the logo of the NBA, that would be Jerry West. He just died at, I believe it was 85, maybe 84. I didn't write it down for whatever reason. Died peacefully in his sleep with his wife in his arms.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
So she didn't know that he was. They just were sleeping one night.
As far as I know, I didn't read anything about him being sick or anything. He was just in his 80s, you know?
Jerry West was before my time, so all I know is the logo stuff. All I know is the little things that you hear. I've never seen him play a single time.
Yeah, he was drafted in 1960, the number 2 overall. The only person who got drafted before him, Oscar Robertson.
Big O.
The Big O, that's
There you
right.
go. Yep.
That's right.
Pretty good. You will be missed, Jerry West.
You will be. Let's go to break, and when we come back, I have another, I promise you, happier conversation about this planet that we live on.
Let's do it.